Hello folks, we all know that car insurance pricing is not what it used to be. It's pretty expensive out there, and that means that people are becoming more and more susceptible to scams and fraud, and there's loads of it. Okay, so watch this video and I'm going to take you through some of the main things. The first one is actually one that is going to be pretty unpopular with a lot of you, but it's one that exists and one you need to be aware of. It's fronting. So let's say, for example, you're 50, your wife's 50, you've got the BMW, she's got a BMW, and then you've gone and bought yourself a 10-year-old Vauxhall Corsa, and your daughter, who's 17 years old, is a named driver on the Vauxhall Corsa, but she's not named on either of the other two cars. And you or your wife are listed as the main driver on the Vauxhall Corsa, and the insurance is in the name of you or your wife. And you've done that because it looks a lot cheaper to insure it that way than if you put the insurance in your daughter's name. At that point, your daughter is going to face an IN10 conviction, which is 6 points on the licence, which for a new driver means a retest, and obviously a fine and potentially a claim to pay for. So it's very common, it's very daft. Please don't do it, because it's not good news if you do. Next one is something called ghost broking, and this is something where people are often approached by someone via social media. I actually spoke to a young chap last year who got in touch after one of his friends gave him a number for someone that could sort him out insurance for only 50 quid a month, and when he was getting quoted 3-4 grand a year, and it's fake. Okay, so what they'll do, there are various things they can do, but sometimes they'll go onto an insurance website themselves, put in a load of false details and get you an insurance certificate, and then collect all the money from you. So for that insurance certificate that they procured, they may have said you're a 70-year-old man living in the middle of Wales, and I don't know, you're driving a 1985 Mini Metro, whatever it might be, and then you've got an insurance certificate. Obviously that's going to be invalid. They'll probably then cancel the policy as soon as they've got that insurance certificate. You've got an insurance certificate, so you think, oh, look at this, I've got a really cheap insurance policy, that's great. You then get stopped by the police and get done for having no insurance, and it happens a lot. There's estimates on this that something like 50,000 people a year are getting done for this. So you really need to know that you're speaking to a genuine insurance broker, and that means going directly via their website, walking directly into their office, something like that. You know, don't take a number from a mate who knows a bloke. Don't listen to anyone on social media. If you put a post into a group and say, does anyone know where I can get cheap insurance? That's a massive target, and you are opening yourself up for abuse, really. So don't do it, folks. Next one's something called crash for cash, and this is happening at an increasing sort of rate of knots as well. And this is where someone will slam on their brakes in front of you so that you go into the back of them, and then they'll claim for personal injury, and probably for write-off of the car. That obviously goes against you, and that means your insurance premium is going to go up in future. There's loads of it going on with mopeds at the moment as well. Common places for this to happen are sort of when you're coming up to a roundabout, someone will just suddenly slam the anchors on and people go into the back of them. Also, people will do it on mopeds at the moment. They'll literally just appear from nowhere and slam, like reverse the thing into the back of your car, or pop out just as you're coming past at not too fast a speed. So they have an accident, there's a bit of a smash, and then they roll around on the floor. And then, of course, they go for a nice, big, juicy claim. It's been going on for years, but I think it's probably getting worse. Some of the ways you can protect yourself for this are, for one thing, you know, keeping a safe stopping distance. Remember that stopping distances are a thing, and actually adhere to them. Another thing you can do is have a dash cam. So if anything like this does happen, you know, you've got some kind of evidence to support your claim. Don't be intimidated by these people. They'll often have a mate standing by the side of the road to act as an independent witness. Don't be intimidated because he's got a witness there, or what appears to be a witness, saying, you know, this happened, I saw you, it's your fault. Never admit liability. You speak to your insurers, and if you suspect it's one of these, you also call the police. It's very important, though, that you don't admit liability in this kind of thing, and that you stand your ground, all right? But this is happening a lot, especially in big cities, so be aware of it. The next one's a very weird one. You'll get adverts sometimes for your insurance company that are actually someone else. And the reason they're doing that is because if you're involved in an accident at the roadside, let's say you're with Aviva, you jump onto Google and type in Aviva claims number or something, and one of the top things that pops up, possibly as a sponsored ad, could be a fraudster that wants to basically handle your claim and submit possibly false elements of it to try and get financial gains themselves. Straightforward claims management companies that just want to get involved and hike up the cost of your claim, legitimately sometimes, but it's a terrible tactic. They'll act as if they're your insurer when you call up, and in fact they're not. And of course it could be just out and out fraudster that wants to get your information and use it for ill gains. So just beware of that. Always go to, if you want to find the claims number for your policy, either type in the web address for your insurer directly, don't Google it, or look in your policy word, in your policy booklet. Sometimes it's even on your insurance certificate. So check those kind of places first. Very important. Folks, if it looks too good to be true, especially when it comes to insurance, especially at the moment, it always is. I'm going to do a big video very soon on how I think I would fix the insurance industry at the moment and make it more affordable for people, and actually have people have slightly better outcomes than they're having at the moment. So that's coming up, and you know, I spent 25 years in the industry. I understand it, I understand the problems with it, and I understand the consumer's problems at the moment. So any content I do around insurance is not to protect the industry, it's to inform the consumer, all right? I want to try and help you, hopefully save a few quid, but in the right way. And I also want you to understand that when you see some of these things that appear to be, you know, putting one over on the insurer, and you're doing yourself a great service by going with this one instead of this one, and you're doing this and you're going to save a few quid, it's almost always going to be a scam, folks. I'm really sorry, but that's the way it is. And if you want to look for some insurance and you've been to the usual comparison sites, I'm going to put a link in the video description to one that I've been using for a little while. It is an affiliate link, so if you use it, they throw me a few quid if you take out a policy. So go and check that one out. It's where I found the insurance for both my cars. They were both with a mainstream insurer, but I found it on that site, and I can't speak sort of more highly than that, I guess. I use it myself. So there you go. Thanks ever so much for watching, folks. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and I'll see you on the next one.